Hello, supers! Welcome back to Paano ba to? And it's February 1, the start of Love Month. And I'm super excited kasi nga for this whole month, I've invited some inspiring and adorable couples to answer your love questions. Kaya naman agad-agad, let's get things started with our first letter sender, Miss In It for the Long Haul, who has a question about commitment. Kaya naman, I invited tunay na relationship goals, Mikael Daez and Young to give advice. And I hope you can watch to the end of the video because later I will be sharing some of your answers to the best and worst love advice you've ever gotten. So, I hope you enjoy our conversation. Welcome to Paano ba to? Young and Mikael Daez.
Hey, Bianca.
Hello.
I've been wanting to invite you for so long, and I guess ito yung perfect time. So thank you for saying yes.
Hey, thank you for inviting us.
So are you ready for the letter for you?
Ready.
Hey, yeah, we'll try.
Yeah, we're not love experts, but I guess we've been together for 10 years, married for one.
We do have 10 years worth of stories that amounts to something.
I mean, it super amounts to something. Prior to the 10 years, how long were you friends?
We weren't friends at all. Parang we were friends and semi-dating at the same time for exactly 100 days before Mikael asked me to be his girlfriend.
I love it. And then 10 years of being boyfriend and girlfriend and 1 year married. Congratulations, 1
Thank
year.
you.
Okay, your letter is from Miss In It for the Long Haul. Sabi niya, how would you know if he or she is the right one for you? I wanted to settle down and build my own family, but I feel na yung partner ko is not yet ready. Hehe. Maybe the question should be, how would I know if he has the plan of marrying me? Thanks in advance.
Ooh, very interesting because I think in the early stages of our relationship, we did not talk about marriage at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't a topic that came up. We didn't talk about kids, nothing. We really just enjoyed the first couple years as being boyfriend and girlfriend.
I'm such a believer in the moment and living in that moment. And I tell Bones, sorry, I call her Bones.
Bones and
Coco.
Yes, of course.
Because I'm such a believer in that moment, especially when we were just dating, I would tell her we just enjoy what is now. And if we break up sometime down the line, or if there is an expiry date in our destiny together, then so be it. But I just don't want that to stop us from enjoying the moment that we have now, regardless if this is forever or not. So I kind of had that mindset. And I would always be open to Bones, and I would share that with her. Not necessarily hoping that she agrees with that, but just because I wanted her to know what I thought.
Tapos ako naman, I wasn't really pressuring myself to think, okay, is this the guy that I'm actually going to marry? It did cross my mind, especially during the earlier years, but I didn't want to put pressure on myself or on Mikael, especially since the time that we met, I was 20, Mikael was 22. So we were still in the grind of getting to where we wanted to be, to figure out who we wanted to be as people. Parang wala pa talaga kami sa direction na, saan ba papunta tong relationship na to?
Yeah.
Ano bang klaseng commitment yung gusto ba natin para sa isa't isa?
Yeah. Okay, you know what, Bones, okay, we're slowly getting into a groove of being able to answer this question. I guess to directly give some sort of reaction to the question, it would probably depend on where the couple is in their relationship. If it's still early and they're still finding their own way individually and as a couple, then maybe putting that kind of pressure on yourself of trying to know in advance, maybe that could be a hindrance in getting to know your partner and yourself and yourselves as a couple.
Yeah.
That could be possible. But of course, if it's, later on in the relationship, trying to be a bit more open and honest to one another might help. And I only say that because for me and Bones, in our relationship, number one rule, like above all talaga, is just be completely honest.
Yeah, we have to be pretty straightforward with each other to really get this relationship to where it is today. So during our earlier years, especially when we said our yes, we'll be boyfriend and girlfriend kind of days, sinabi talaga namin na, okay, ito yung mga rules and regulations ng ating relationship. And it's not
Wow.
really restricting, okay? So, hindi siya yung parang naiisip ng iba na, okay, you're holding each other back. It was really just to set things in place.
We didn't have to be honest right away because I think that's super difficult, but it was definitely something we built up to. Well, I'll be honest, it really did take years,
Yeah.
which is why I give that story and that piece of experience with a big disclaimer that it just doesn't just happen.
Yung pagiging honest namin sa isa't isa, sa totoo lang, and it helps us in a way na mafe-figure out namin kung ano yung gusto ng isa't isa. But to be honest, there are times na masakit talaga marinig yung truth. Masakit marinig na, okay, ito pala yung naiisip niya sa akin or nakikita niya. One good example would be calling each other out. Pag may mga times na hindi namin gusto yung pag-uugali ng isa't isa. If there was something that Mikael did or said to another person that I thought was off, I had to be honest about my feelings and vice versa because we've had those instances
Many times, by the way.
many times. So kung hindi kami naging honest sa isa't isa, in retrospect, you're kind of holding each other back from becoming better people when you're not honest with each other.
Right. I love it. I don't know about you, but some fights or misunderstandings happen not because of what you say, but how you're saying it. Does that happen to you guys also?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the context of that, how would you advise Miss In It for the long haul to sort of start opening up the topic? Should she even do that?
I think it's definitely one of her choices. She has several choices in front of her.
So
I would
let's
imagine.
let's lay it out. Like, parang if we were in her shoes, how do you think we would tackle it? Because to be honest, like in our podcast, we always say that we're not like love experts or anything. We want to tell things through stories or share it through stories. So
Yeah.
let's share it in a story.
If I were in her shoes, well, I would be very blunt. I'm not really one to mince words, especially with Bones, especially because I've become so confident in the honesty and the openness of the communication that we have. So I bank on that when I talk to her and I come to her with something that's a bit meatier or something that, mas malaman yung usapan or yung mas mabigat yung topic. You're always coming from a different perspective than me.
Yeah,
though.
Mikael's very straightforward, and I'm actually the complete opposite. I can be straightforward, but when it comes to Mikael, I don't want to say the wrong thing because that happened to me before, like what you mentioned na iba yung pagkakasabi, iba yung nasa isip ko, iba lumalabas sa bibig ko, iba pagkakaintindi niya.
Yes.
And it happens all the time. If I were in her shoes, I would go up to, let's say, Fofo, and I just talk to him about how I felt. And parang I think one explanation would be, how do I go up to you ba and say these things? Like, yung mga sensitive.
Yeah. I can't imagine how you would do it. It's definitely tricky if you have a personality more similar to Bones. But if you're more like me and straightforward, then just be a straight shooter, really. Just go for it and then deal with whatever comes your way as it is.
Madali lang sabihin para sa'yo.
I know.
Pero para sa mga tao katulad ko na anxious, na parang iniisip ko in my head, I have like 10 scenarios of how I'm going to say one thing. That's why it takes me forever. Para tanungin ang isang tao or Mikael, for example, paano ba natin gagawin to? O diba, meron din kaming Paano Ba To series.
I love it. Yes,
In
of
our house,
course.
you have to go forward and just do it.
Oh,
Talk to
okay.
your partner. No. I've learned this throughout the years. If there's something that you want to happen, then you have to talk about it. You're not going to get anywhere kung aasa ka lang or mag-aantay ka lang. And that goes not just for love, it goes for your career, for where you
True.
want to go in the future. Just do it. Sabi ni Nike. Diba? There's always a way on how you can talk with your partner and only you would know how to do that best.
That's true. Hannah Pangilinan, I interviewed her recently, and she said that if you don't move, you won't move. And when she said that, I was like, oo nga naman. Makes total sense. I guess this question kasi in the context of Pinoy culture, dito usually lalaki ang nagpo-propose at babae ang sumasagot. And parang it's sort of a taboo topic, maybe for some, na babae yung mag-open up kasi feeling nila it might turn off the guy. What are your thoughts on that, Mikael?
I believe in giving Bonizi her own power. I like enabling her to do her own thing and go for the things that she wants to go for. Sakto nga, if you don't move, kasi you aren't going to go anywhere. And I think the biggest hindrance to moving is really just the fear of the unknown and the fear of possible failure. But I would always tell Bonizi, and I always try to remind myself that it is in failure that you grow. It is in failure that you learn. At least for me, what's the point of living if you aren't always constantly trying to grow?
The one thing that Mikael always wanted me to do is to try things out. Try mo na. You never know kasi if it's going to work for you, if you're going to succeed, you might as well take the risk. And we both took a risk with each other and with being open about each other. Kasi not everyone can be as honest as we are as a couple, and we know that's difficult. If you would probably hear some of our conversations, especially when we're working and giving critique to each other, siguro aakalain mo na magkaaway kami or parang, ay grabe, ang harsh naman nila sa isa't isa. But we'd rather have that than sugarcoating. Kasi that's the one thing that we know will hold each other back. Because we produce and edit and do all the things for the podcast. If we had a really ugly podcast episode and you just said, "Oh, sobrang galing mo mag-edit, ang ganda." Pero yung totoo, sobrang napakapangit pala. I would feel so bad if everyone else in the comment section was like, "Ay, ang pangit nito. Bakit naman ganito yung ginawa nila?" Tapos, pero bakit sabi ni Fofo, ang ganda? I would feel so bad.
Yeah.
Sabihin mo na lang yung totoo para ma-edit ko na beforehand.
So sorry.
Parang it's better to hear the truth from each other than from anyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Okay, super last before I let you go. I hope you don't mind. Safe to say that both of you advise Miss In It for the long haul to just go for it. So if she does go for it, if you do decide Miss In It for the long haul to ask and it gets the ball rolling, then great. But if she does ask and it doesn't go the way she planned, masakit, but what, I guess, would your advice for her be?
I find that one of the more difficult things to do in the moments of hardship in my life, at least, is finding beauty and being able to appreciate your surroundings and what's around you in your lowest moments. And it helps to have family, it helps to have friends, but ultimately that will come from within.
Yeah.
So for me, because Bonizi and I are always trying to move forward, always trying to move into the unknown and unknown territory, failure and low moments and low points are inevitable. And we've come to accept that. And we've come to try to figure out that in these low moments, although they hurt or although they suck, we would like for them not to ever happen again. So we just try to look at the bright side, because in any moment, regardless of how dark it may be, I truly believe, at least in my own experiences, that there is a way to look at it in a better light. Sometimes it doesn't happen right away. Sometimes it takes years, and then you look back and that's when you see the light of that moment. But it is possible, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna jump off from what you just said, looking at the brighter side of things. And mahirap gawin yon. But one thing that I can advise to our letter sender is to look at people's perspectives aside from yours. Look at where your boyfriend is coming from. Bakit niya kaya nasabi to sa'yo? Maybe get an outsider's point of view, like what Mikael said, para you can probably get the bigger picture of things. Because when we're caught up in a really sad moment or a moment that is unexpected, we tend to just have tunnel vision and just look at it from our perspective na it didn't go the way that you planned. But maybe there is a reason why these things are happening or why it didn't go the way that you planned after all.
I like that answer.
Kiniklik.
I love it. And I guess let me just add to that for Miss In It for the long haul. Totally agree with what Mikael and Megan said. I'm a firm believer naman in if it is for you, it will not pass you by. I truly believe that. And though ang sakit, if ever, again, this is just like worst case scenario. As tough as it is to swallow, it's just that you are probably being saved from something that is not truly for you. And believe that you're meant for something better. And I guess you deserve someone who wants to commit to you, diba? It boils down to that. Super thank you. You truly are relationship goals, Megan and Mikael.
Thank you, Bianca. We're so happy to be here on Paano Ba To?
Yeah, we're happy. We're just happy to be here on your show.
Stream Behind Relationship Goals, the podcast. Thank you so much, Megan and Mikael.
Thanks, Bianca.
Thank you.
Yay! Thank you so much, Mikael and Megan. Diba? Sobrang ng relationship goals talaga. I hope you enjoyed that conversation. And as promised, I am reading some of your answers to the question I posted on my community tab. Lagi nyo i-check yun, guys. Lagi akong may pa-poll doon. And I asked you the best and the worst love advice that you've gotten. And ang daming super interesting answers. And I want to read some of them. From Trish Magarte, best advice, fall in love when you're ready, not lonely. Love it. Ganda nun. From Maggie Matos, worst advice, try mo i-lower standards mo. Nakakaloka. No, please don't lower your standards. Please, deserve mo ang standards na para sa'yo dapat sa isang partner. Thank you, Maggie, for sharing that. And from Prime's vlog, best love advice, work on yourself first, then the right person will come. I agree. Yan yung parang wavelength, vibration, yung paniniwalang yun na parang when you are at your best self, yun daw yung time that you will attract also the right partner, the best partner for you. And the worst love advice, huwag mo munang ipakita kung sino ka talaga. Tsaka na, pag nasa relationship ka na. Why? Alam mo yun ang isa ko actually, I guess regret, well, hindi na super regret, but like, for me, yun ang big no-no. Na yung kapag sa courting stage, yung purely best foot forward. Siyempre, konting best foot forward, yeah, but wag purely kasi mas mahirap kung committed na kayo sa isa't isa tapos saka pa lang nyo nakikita yung bad side or not so good side ng isa't isa. So yeah, definitely, yan ay isa sa mga worst love advice. Thank you so much for all your comments. For next week's video, pipili ulit ako ng mga comments na babasahin ko na best and worst love advice. And of course, in case you have not joined yet, please do head on over to Facebook and check out Paano ba to Kumustahan group. And I hope you can sign up sa ating private group. It's private for now, so you just have to answer a few questions before I accept your membership. Medyo strict ako. You have to follow the instructions and say yes to the community rules. So yeah, after this video, I hope to see you there in our Paano ba to Kumustahan group. And I am super excited because next week I will have another big Paano ba to announcement. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share it with you guys. Pero yeah, no spoilers yet. Actually, may iba sa inyo who got it right in the comment section last week. But finally, I think at the end of the week or middle of this week, medyo bibigyan ko na kayo ng patikim kung ano siguro ito. But till next week's episode, take care, supers! Bye!